Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Out of Bounds podcast. This is episode 3. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about which quarterback has the potential of replacing being the icon of the NFL, because that spot was previously taken by Tom Brady. And with Tom Brady now retiring, or well, most likely retiring because he's still going on, and people are still leaving the option out there. Like the Bucks GM, they're like, "Oh, he may not retire," but Tom Brady says he's most likely retiring. I believe he will retire. I thought I would. Honestly, I did not expect Tom Brady to retire this early. Like I didn't know when it was. I knew it was gonna happen. Everyone knew it had to happen at some point, but we didn't know that it was gonna be this early. Like every single year, like, oh, is Tom Brady gonna retire? Oh no, he's not retiring. Is he gonna retire this year? Oh no, he's not retiring. But then it actually happened, and it shocked us all when it shouldn't have shocked us at all. If that makes any sense. Anyways, today's just gonna be a solo episode. Matt is unable to join us for this episode, so you get all of me. Yeah, you know a song, and I'll give you all of me, and I'll give you all. I'm not gonna do that ever again, so don't worry. Alright. Alright, so here are some potential people I have in mind who have the potential of replacing the icon of Tom Brady. Let's go with the number one answer that most people would think. I say Patrick Mahomes. Now, Patrick Mahomes has been a huge influential part of the league ever since he's been a starter. They had incredible runs. Sorry, won a Super Bowl. He's gone to the AFC Championship every other year he's been in the league as a starter. Like it's literally insane. The guy is amazing. But this past year, he didn't. This past year was his worst year, but it wasn't a bad year for a QB. Like Patrick Mahomes still played well, but in Patrick Mahomes standards, it blows everyone. Like everyone's like, "Oh, is Patrick Mahomes isn't Patrick Mahomes anymore." Like no, he is still Patrick Mahomes. He's still going to always produce at a high level. He signed a 10-year over $100 million contract for a reason. Patrick Mahomes is literally insane. Ever since he's been in the league, he can throw it very deep downfield. He can run, scramble out, and always get a first down. Like the guy can do everything. Now some people are like, yeah, well, he has Travis Kelsey, he has Tyreek Hill, and he has Andy Reid as a coach. So what? Tom Brady had Bill Belichick as a coach, and he's had Randy Moss, Julian Edelman, and other great receivers along with Gronkowski. Like it doesn't matter the surrounding people, it just matters that you are able. Like that's what Tom Brady's always going to be known. Yes, he's every single year he's been in the league, he's had a great team around him. Like Patrick Mahomes, he has a great team around him. Yeah, but Tom Brady always did. So it doesn't really matter about the teams around you. Like as long as you are the one that's going to be winning these championships and games, like people are going to associate you with being the one like that is in charge of the NFL, so to say. But yeah, um, if you keep winning championships, you're going to be the face. Just like how Tom Brady, if he didn't win all those championships, we would have always said he's a great player, Hall of Famer. Like if he only won 2 Super Bowls, great player, Hall of Famer. We wouldn't call him the GOAT, but he is the GOAT, and I don't know if anyone's going to ever replace him. I don't know if there's ever going to be a QB to win 7 Super Bowls, at least in my lifetime. I think that is something only Tom Brady will have achieved, at least on a quarterback level. So, yeah. Patrick Mahomes, though, I think he is going to take control of the NFL as being the icon, as Tom Brady has. Next is Josh Allen. Now, Josh Allen, a lot of us, I think he's due to be the next MVP. Like, Josh Allen is an insane quarterback. Talking about scrambling, and like I said, Patrick Mahomes, dual threat, he can scramble, he can throw. Josh Allen is pretty much just like that, except when it comes to scrambling, Josh Allen is probably much better than Patrick Mahomes. Like, if you saw the Patriots game, he was running, he was throwing, he was doing literally everything. The playoff game against the Patriots is what I was talking about, because they faced 3 times this year. But literally, the guy is insane. He can do it all. He has Stephon Diggs, but even like he brought Dawson Knox to like being known. Like, people didn't know who the hell Dawson Knox was unless you were a Bills fan. But now everyone in the league's like, oh, Dawson Knox, yeah, that tight end for the Bills, because he just brought him up to that level. Now Josh Allen, incredible QB. He's going to be dominating the NFL for years to come. I think that division is pretty much locked in for the Bills, but then you also have to worry about the Patriots. So it's always going to be a great matchup between Josh Allen versus the Patriots. It's really Josh Allen versus Belichick until Mac Jones can prove that he is like Josh. Mac Jones has already proved that he's a good QB, but we don't know if he's going to be like good enough to win the division constantly, especially when you're in a good division that has Josh Allen. I mean, the Jets and the Dolphins, they're kind of crap, especially now that Flores left. Like, the Dolphins are kind of a joke. But, yeah. Josh Allen, he has the potential to become the face of the NFL. I see him winning a Super Bowl. Maybe he could win a few Super Bowls. The Bills are a great team, and he just makes them so much better. I mean, the guy is insane. Like, everyone, I don't think anyone looked at that draft class that Josh Allen was in and was going to be like, that's going to be the best quarterback of the draft class. But he's easily the best quarterback of the draft class. Whoever says Lamar is better, like, just stop talking. Lamar, as much as you like to say, oh, he's the ultimate dual threat QB, scrambling and passing, he's not as great of a passer as any of these other people on the list. Like, he can't pass like Mahomes, he can't pass like Allen, but yeah. Jackson, he is the best scrambler I've ever seen play, and I've watched Michael Vick play. I mean, he broke Michael Vick's like rushing yards in a season, so the guy is great, but we need to take it back a bit. I think he's the only one in I was about to say he's the only one in that draft class that's still with the same team that drafted him and hasn't gotten an extension that I remembered. Baker's also with the Browns currently, although that's likely to change any second because the Browns don't seem that interested in keeping him, and I don't blame them. He had a very, very poor season. But going on to the next people on this list, we have Mahomes, Allen. Next, we gotta go with Joe Burrow. I might be going crazy with the Joe Burrow talk, people, but listen to me. Joe Burrow came in the Bengals. Who here? Now, be honest. Now, Bengals fans, you probably are going to be all saying, like, oh, yeah, we expected to go to the Super Bowl. Like, every fan is optimistic that their team will do well. Like, as an Eagles fan, I was, like, optimistic going into the season, even though everyone counted us for, like, a 2-win team. And honestly, I love that. We love being the underdogs. Philly, we love that feeling of being the underdogs. Anyway, regardless. Count us out all the time. We love it. Anyway. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow tore his ACL, and I think it was his MCL, and he came in, did absolutely incredible. Jamar Chase dropping passes in the preseason and in training camp. Everyone was like, oh, this guy might not be all great as he's cracked out to be. Although, Jamar, I never doubted you for a second. I knew you were going to be the number one wide receiver in that draft class, even though I hope Devontae Smith takes your place. No offense. But yeah, Joe Burrow literally came back from all that. Not only did he win his division in a competitive division where you're up against the Steelers, who has an incredible defense, Baltimore, an absolutely brilliant head coach, and they have a good defense, and Lamar, And then you got the Browns, who won the division the past year. Wait, did they win it? Well, they got to the playoffs the previous year and went beat their first game. And regardless, they have like Nick Chubb, Miles Garrett, an incredibly good team. So that division is stacked, and not only did you win it, but then you went to the AFC Championship. You won that. You beat Mahomes in Kansas City. Like that, I'm just like in awe. Like this, none of us thought that the Bengals were gonna go to Super Bowl. Be honest, none of us thought that. And like all of us after Joe Burrow's first year were like, oh, this guy's a great quarterback. The Bengals show signs of doing great with him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'll take them like maybe 5 years or so to actually get a team around him to go and do stuff. No, they did it the next year. Now Joe Burrow has some good wide receivers, but that doesn't matter. Doesn't he does not have a spectacular tight end. He has Joe Mixon, so what? And he doesn't really have an offensive line. That offensive line isn't that all great. It's not that great, and he's able. I mean, they did do obviously well enough to get them to the Super Bowl, but like, come on, this is Joe. Like, the team runs on Joe Burrow. If you put any other quarterback, okay, maybe like Rodgers or someone, then yeah, they'll still have done well. But Joe Burrow is a different breed. There's not many quarterbacks that honestly, it's not even a question now that he's a top 5 quarterback. I think he's a better quarterback than Stafford, but Stafford had the much better team around him. When you got Aaron Donald, that D line, and then you got Jalen Ramsey on the corner as a corner, and got Cooper Kupp. Like, I don't know if Joe. I was about to say I don't know if Joe Burrow, but has a chance. But they were winning in the fourth quarter. They had the lead at one point. So, I mean, Joe Burrow almost had that game, and I'm sure he's gonna have a Super Bowl in his lifetime, without a doubt. The Bengals, they're gonna be a huge team to look out for, and Joe Burrow is gonna be also one of the big guys in the NFL for many years to come. Next, we also got to talk about the most likely person everyone's going to be pointing at to be the number one quarterback in the league right now, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, in my eyes, has been the most talented QB I've seen in my lifetime. I've never seen a guy throw the ball that deep down the field with a flick of the wrist. Like, literally, the guy throws it, and it looks like he's not even breaking a sweat at all. Like Aaron Rodgers, the amount, I just can't even describe it. It's literally crazy. And yeah, he has Devontae Adams. So what? Like, he also won a Super Bowl under McCarthy. Like, he won it in despite of McCarthy. McCarthy didn't help them win the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, he had a bit. I mean, just look at what's going on in Dallas. You think that guy is gonna bring Dallas to the Super Bowl? Nah. Dak can't overcome McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers overcame McCarthy. It's literally crazy. This guy, he in my lifetime has been the most, I want to say talented quarterback. Like I said that a bit ago, but now I'm thinking of Manning. Tom Brady, like, he is the GOAT, unquestionable. But Aaron Rodgers is just like, I've never seen a guy that's that accurate deep down the field like Aaron. Like, we brought up Mahomes and Allen with the deep passes, but man, Aaron Rodgers takes it on a new level. The comeback king. This guy has had so many Hail Marys for a win. Well, not so many, but like, in terms of having a Hail Mary for a win, I just can't even talk about Aaron Rodgers anymore. How high praise I can give him. I want him to come to Philly, although I know that's not going to happen. Don't go talking in the comments being like, you're stupid if you think Aaron's coming to Philly. I know he's not coming to Philly. Stop rubbing it in. He's probably going to go with the Packers. That's where I believe he's going to end up. He wants to be paid more. According to an article, he wants $50 million in a year. I don't know if... I don't think... he's gonna get that, but like it's just kind of crazy. Anyway, um, there's definitely tons of other QBs that we could mention. Russell Wilson, he's been a staple in the league for so many years now. Will he be staying in Seattle? Will he be going to a new team? A lot of questions in the air. I think he's definitely past his prime, but he's still going to be talked about. He's still going to make some great plays. He's still going to be like the guy that can. Oh, I think he now that he's in the NFC. If he stays in the NFC West, I don't know if he's enough to win that division. But um, if he comes to Philly or a different team, he'll definitely win the division. I do not believe that Russell Wilson could ever become the face of the NFL simply because he's past his prime. And I mean, the same could be said for Aaron, but I think Aaron has proven he can still be great in his old age. Like, look at him right now. He just won MVP. Like, he is not going anywhere in terms of production, at least from how I see him. And then we also gotta jump in here with Justin Herbert. All of us were thinking Justin Herbert was the best quarterback in that draft class, but because of Joe Burrow's huge, um, because of what he did this past season, all of us are now starting to overlook Justin Herbert. But Justin Herbert was the guy we were talking about before Joe Burrow. Like, we thought this guy was going to be the guy that's going to be coming in and is going to be the new guy that would rival Mahomes, which is great. We're going to have to see that match up twice a year, which is always going to be must watch. Like that last time they faced off, Herbert and Mahomes, and that game went to overtime. That was so good. And we would have saw Herbert in the postseason if the coach wasn't an idiot and called a timeout, which the Raiders probably were just going to have that game end in a tie, and then they would have gone to the playoffs, and maybe the playoffs would have been a different story. Like, imagine if it was Herbert versus Burrow in the playoffs. Like, no one knows what could have happened. I think Herbert definitely has a chance to be the guy in the league that's going to have everyone looking out for him. But yeah, then I could also say Kyler Murray. Um, no one knows what his situation is with the Cardinals. Will he be on the Cardinals? Don't know. I think he's staying with the Cardinals. I don't think there's a chance he goes to any other team. But yeah, I don't think Kyler would be the face of the franchise. I think, or the face of the NFL. If I'm narrowing it down to three, I think it's going to be Mahomes, Allen, or I'd say Burrow, yeah, because of how young he is and what he was able to do. All these guys are going to be big time players in the NFL for many years to come. I think Aaron has maybe like 5 to 7 more years in the NFL. He's even mentioning retiring now, which I don't think that's going to be the case at all. I don't see Aaron retiring, especially with, imagine him and Brady leave at the same time. That'd just be awful. It would be like, oh. I mean, and obviously we still got these great players that are going to continue the NFL, like continue being in the NFL, which will keep us entertained forever because these great newcomers are amazing. But let me hear what you guys have to say. For watching this on YouTube, in the comments below. If you are watching this on Spotify or any other podcast service, be sure to rate us, give us a good rate so you agree. If you don't agree, please again give us a good rating. And yeah, that is it for today's episode. I don't think Matt will be available for the next podcast, but who knows? Look out for it, and I'll see you in the next one, which will hopefully be on Friday. I hope to do 2 a week, Wednesdays and Fridays, and yeah, I'll see you then.